views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, it's Puerto Rican weekend, and we have details on some cultural events for today's Open Weekend preview. Plus, we'll hear from Seek Your Truth, an organization inspired by faith and transparency, and they're here to discuss their upcoming Women's Empowerment Summit. And after that, we'll find out what's in store for this year's South Bronx Cultural Festival, Somos Unidos, spearheaded by Casita Maria for the Arts Education, Casita Maria Center for the Arts Education, and Bronx Music Heritage Center. And then we'll speak to the president of the Harlem School of the Arts to discuss the organization's upcoming dance recital and summer arts program. And later on in the show, Bobby C will bring us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight features rapper, singer, producer Beat Boi, who will give us a taste of post-Maria Puerto Rico with his hit song, Maria. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is coming your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche. Always inviting you to get social with us online, that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at Bronxnet TV and like us on Facebook at Open Bronxnet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow moi on Twitter, Instagram, FB, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Insta Stories at Rhina Valentin. All right, so this weekend is full of cultural festivities you can participate in, and so I'm going to recommend you go and you get your pen and paper for this edition of Open Weekend Preview. Starting off the Puerto Rican celebration of the 33rd 116th Street Festival. That's going to be taking place this weekend on Saturday, June 9th. And this historic Latin festival of 21 blocks will take place on 3rd Avenue in El Barrio from 120th Street to 106th Street. And it's filled with music, art, food, people from the community, and musical legends such as Eddie Palmieri, Michael Stewart, and Tito Puente Jr., and that's just to name a few. The festival begins at 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and once again, that's in East Harlem on 3rd Avenue. And for more information, visit 116streetfestival.com. And that's, then from there, we have this Sunday, which is June 10th, right? The annual National Puerto Rican Day Parade. You and your family can enjoy the thousands of people who will be marching and participating in this year's possibly controversial festivities post-Hurricane Maria. One thing is for sure, though, there will be thousands of flags waving high with pride for this national occasion. So the parade will start at 11 a.m. And once again, that's on Sunday on 5th Avenue from 44th Street to 79th Street in Manhattan. And for more information, you can visit nprdpinc.org. That's nprdpinc.org. And that is what we have for you this weekend. It's full of cultural festivities. Y que viva Puerto Rico. All right, so the Bronx Zoo held its first Boogie Down event celebrating street artists and hip-hop culture in the Bronx. Reporter Darissa White has the story.
Welcome to the first annual Boogie Down at the Bronx Zoo. This event hosts renowned street artists as they showcase their skill, the Bronx, and a part of hip-hop culture. lions, tigers, and street artists? The Boogie Down at the Bronx Zoo is created to celebrate street artists and hip-hop culture that were born in the Bronx. Legendary street artists such as Crash One creates beautiful works of art on the spot in front of some amazed guests and some old-school hip-hop music. For more information about the artist or the Boogie Down, you can visit www.bronxzoo.com. Although this is their first year doing this, they're planning to come back with even more artists next year. From Bronxnet, Darissa White.
And thank you, Darissa. So, Seek Your Truth organization uplifts and empowers women while creating a platform to share stories with other individuals. And the organization is inspired by faith and transparency and looks to transform the conversations of becoming one's ultimate self. Now more women can be part of this conversation by participating in the 3rd Annual Women's Empowerment Summit. And joining us now to share more on this year's event, we welcome Seek Your Truth production assistant Cheyenne Ross and founder Siobhan White. Hello, ladies. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. And thank you for being of service to our next generation. So let's just share a little bit about a little background on yourself and what inspired you to create this summit.
Well, I started this organization 3 years ago after going through a tumultuous time in my life. And I just felt like I wanted to impact women in a different way, to share their testimonies, to share their stories with each other without any judgment or anything like that, just to kind of break the mold of, what we go through as women in society, and just to encourage and empower each other through the journey, so we don't have to continue the same cycles over and over again.
So what kind of age bracket are we referencing?
So we're anywhere from 21 and up to the age of 60 and older. It's really no age restriction. I feel like us as women, we go through so many different things in each cycle of our life. So each one teach one. So Cheyenne is one of my, she's my production assistant and my mentee as well. And
as it should be.
Yeah.
Pay it forward.
Exactly.
And then you pay it back. And
Exactly.
there's the reciprocity. And that's how we build.
Exactly.
And elevate each other.
Absolutely.
I'm there.
Absolutely. So whatever I went through in my past, I don't want to see her go through that. So it's just like one hand washes the other. So that's why, we work so closely together. So I know to, guide her in the right direction, of course, with God's help. Just want to see her do great things.
So Cheyenne, what are you into? I mean, obviously you're the production assistant in coordinating this event. So what inspired you to become involved with this organization and to choose her as your mentor?
I will definitely say there are certain people that are placed in your life for a reason, and Siobhan was definitely one of those people. We worked together at the Fox News Corporation, and that's where we met. And from there, we just, our energies connected instantly, and we stayed in contact with each other. And I told her, I said, I would love for you to mentor me, because your energy, your spirit, everything that you're about is so great. And along that journey, she went into her own brand of consulting, and that's how I became part of her team. And I love every part of it because it's helping people, young people. I have a heart for young women and young people in general. So as she instills in me, I'm able to pour into them.
Fabulous. And that's
So the age doesn't matter. It's just like,
I know we all learn from each other. You just
Exactly.
have to have an open mind.
Exactly.
Right? And then, of course, you need to come in with that no judgment-free zone type of mentality.
Yes.
And, of course, you're only capable of feeling that way if you're in a safe space.
Absolutely.
Right? And I like that you choose the word transparency, because I think we all live in our society. I mean, we do have to wear a mask for certain situations depending on the environment, but you don't have to lie in the process. You can still be yourself in that process. So just share with me what it is that you I guess, present to this in this forum as a means of exercising transparency?
So through my journey, I've had the privilege to connect with different women of different background who walk the life of as far as faith goes, who are willing to open up and share what they've been through. This month, June 23rd, we have 4 amazing speakers that are going to just pour out what they've been through and how their sacrifices and how God has led them to where they are right now, just to encourage and empower other women that, hey, I was here, but without the help of God and without his guidance, without his guidance, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Yes, I'm starting my own business and, mentoring other people, but without his help, I wouldn't be here today. So that's the faith and transparency collides together.
Right. It's kind of like we're the same.
Yes, exactly.
We're the same.
Exactly.
In different forms.
Exactly.
But nobody's perfect.
Exactly.
And everybody's going through something.
Absolutely.
Right? And the idea is that we're able to just present it in a way and just...
With no judgment.
Right. No judgment. And so who are these guest speakers that you are going to be presenting?
So I have, first we have Malika Maxwell. She is starting her nail design business, which is called Grace by Millie Max. We also have Asetta Ramsey. She's an author and entrepreneur. Then we have Vanessa Guerrero, and she is a NYPD representative. And then myself, as well as one of my moderators, her name is Anaya A, and she does amazing things within the community. Her company is called Freedom Entertainment, and we just have the privilege of having them come and share their testimony.
Absolutely, yes. And so, is this you're the production assistant, and I'm going to ask you about the event itself. Like, is this open to everybody? Do you have to cap on a certain amount of invitees, or is there an age bracket? Is it only women?
So I will say, this time around, we tried to do something different, and we're actually sponsoring 2 tickets to the Park Slopes Women's Shelter, inviting 2 women from there. I would say I had the privilege for the past 3 years volunteering there at the shelter every Thanksgiving, and I interacted with these women, and they had some really great stories. And I was there 2 years in a row. And one of the women, she shared with me her aspirations and what she was aiming and striving to do. The shelter was not her resting place. It was where she was now, but she had other plans. And the following year, when I went back to serve on Thanksgiving, she shared with me that she got an apartment, she got a job, and that's her last month there. So it was really exciting to see. So we're working with the coordinator there to invite 2 of the women to sponsor 2 tickets. And to answer your question, we don't really have a cap on the invitees. We're just open to whoever wants to be empowered, whoever wants to be inspired, whoever's going through something and needs a therapy session. This is the time to come out and to hear and to share and to fellowship with other women.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing that story, too, Shania.
Of course.
Because people tend to judge people according to the circumstances, right? And sometimes we're just in transition.
Exactly.
To metamorphosize, right? And become something greater than what it is that one needed to get through. I mean, forget it. I could be on that table with you ladies because I love all this stuff. I love it. And I love that you're providing this for our next generation, right? 21. And those who may have gone through something and are looking to reinvent themselves, right?
Of course.
And so what are the details of the event before we go?
So it's going to be June 23rd, starting at 11 a.m. at the Alhambra Ballroom in Harlem, New York on Adam Clayton Boulevard. Love to have you there. Brunch will be served. We're just going to have a great and empowering time. We're very excited. So if you're interested, you can go to Seek Your Truth NYC to find out all the details. And That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So what are the times?
11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
11 a.m. to 3 p.m. because you said you were serving brunch. That's the
Yes.
only thing I
Yeah, so 11 to 3. Yes, so we have full catered brunch at the Alhambra Ballroom. So yeah, it's going to be great. Great.
Awesome. Thank you, Siobhan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you there.
Yes.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm
Yes.
just like overbooked. It's Puerto Rican weekend, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason. But
Yes.
next year?
Yes,
Fair.
absolutely.
It's annual.
I love
Yes.
it. Love it.
Thank
You're
you.
just getting started. So I'm there with you.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you, ladies. All right, you guys, once again, Seek Your Truth Power Summit will take place on Saturday, June 23rd, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Alhambra Ballroom, located at 2116 7th Avenue in Manhattan. And for tickets, you can visit seekyourtruthnyc3eventbrite.com. And of course, you can always visit their website by going to seekyourtruth.org. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear about a cultural arts festival taking place right here in the Bronx. We'll be right back.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
Join us at the South Bronx Culture Trail Festival. This fun, family-friendly festival is presented by Casita Maria Center for Arts and Education and Bronx Music Heritage Center throughout the South Bronx from May 31st through June 26th. We invite you to experience the rich culture of the South Bronx. To learn more, visit casitamaria.org.
Hello and welcome back. What you just saw was a sneak peek of last year's festival. And well, now we're going to find out what's in store for this year's festival. So it was a sneak peek of this year's festival based on last year's festival, but they add other layers. So I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys this celebration. So as part of the Celebrating Arts, Culture, and Community in the Bronx, Casita Maria for Arts Education and Bronx Music Heritage Center are spearheading, once again, the annual South Bronx Culture Trail Festival, Somos Unidos. And that's going to include everything from music, dance, visual arts, puppetry arts this year, and more. And joining us to share more details, we welcome Casita Maria Arts Education Director of Creative Arts, Gail Heidel. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for having me here. It's nice to meet you, Rhina.
Nice to meet you too, and thank you for all the amazing work you guys are doing at Casita Maria. Like, let's just share with everyone the history behind Casita Maria, because they've been around for so long. You have an amazing building up in the Hunts Point section, and but you can please share the details of just the services and all that's been offered throughout all these years.
Okay, thanks. So Casita Maria was started in 1934 in El Barrio to help serve the newly arrived Puerto Rican families. When they moved from El Barrio to the Bronx, we followed with them. So we've been at our location at 928 Simpson Street since 1961. And then in the 90s, the Department of Education asked us if we wanted to have a public-private partnership. And in exchange for that, they would build us our brand new 90,000 square foot building. So we said, yes, please. So they tore down the old synagogue that we were in. They built the brand new building, and we share the building with a school, Bronx Studio School for Writers and Artists. So they're there during the day until 2:36, and then those young people either leave or they come up to after-school programming upstairs at Casita, as well as the rest of the floors. So we have 6 floors in our building. We have a dance studio. We have a gallery where we showcase 4 exhibitions per year. We also have companion exhibitions in our Young Artists Gallery that fit in with the content of the professional artists that we show in our main gallery space.
I know you guys do really great work.
Thank you, thank you. So we serve over 1,000 young people every year through after-school programming, K through 12, and then also we have summer camp. And we still have some spaces left if people want to register for camp.
Nice. So where would they go to
They would go to casitamaria.org to be able to get more information on registrations.
There's a table of content that leads them directly to the
Exactly. There'll actually be a pop-up as soon as you get on the website that'll lead you there.
They definitely have space. Right? He's like, there's a pop-up. Grab it while it's popping up.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly, exactly.
So now let's talk about Somos Unidos.
Okay, so the South Bronx Culture Trail Festival started in 2011 because unfortunately the young people at Casita Maria were saying nothing good ever comes out of the Bronx. So the former executive director from Casita and Dancing in the Streets started this initiative to celebrate the rich cultural history of the Bronx. So every year we have a different theme and we celebrate, something different. So we've celebrated hip hop and jazz. Last year was activism and community leadership. And this year we felt like it was really important to get the message across that we are united and that there's strength in unity and we are Somos Unidos.
Yeah, and you have a nice diverse group of organizations that have come together. So how do you select the organizations? And tell me a little bit about that potpourri that's going on this year, because, I mean, it is Pride Month, and there is an organization within this Somos Unidos, the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance, right? BAD.
Right.
And, I mean, they're not strict gay, but they do advocate that the LGBTQ community.
That's right.
And
That's
so,
right. Yep.
so you have that, and then you have the puppeteers, and then you have, of course, some salsa in there and some bomba en plena. I mean, I've been following it thus far because it did start May 31st. But the news for you guys is it's going until June 23rd, so you still have time to experience that. So,
well, a number of the partner organizations are actually part of our advisory board. So even though I'm the lead on the scheduling Casita Maria's programming, we get input from all of these different leaders from the community of who we should showcase, and also what the concept is going to be for the year. And then also, depending on the concept, we'll reach out to other people who have programming that fit the this year's theme was Somos Unidos. So we reached out to Urban Health Plan and we asked them if they wanted to include their San Juan Festival in the event. BAD has been participating for the last couple of years, and then they select one of their events, because they're always programming that would fit our theme as well. So we still, even though, as you mentioned, the festival started on May 31st, we still have 8 more events that are happening through June 23rd.
and so they're weekend events.
Well, some of them, it would be like Thursday through Sunday in general.
Is it the same program each day?
No, it's a different program every day. So, for instance, the next event that Casita Maria is going to have on June 22nd is our Mural Unveiling. We're starting last year, we're going to be painting the facade of Casita Maria every year. This year, we're using, or have asked the artist Chris Stain to paint the facade of Casita. We're having a mural unveiling, and we'll be having DJs. So, Grand Wizard Theodore will be DJing from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Councilmember Salamanca, who generously funded the trail, will be there to speak as well.
That's on June 22nd.
Right,
Okay,
at Casita.
Right. Well, I just want to. That's going to be at Casita Maria, right?
Right, and it's a block party, so we're blocking off Simpson.
Okay, so you block it off Simpson, but I just want them to be clear that there's something happening prior to that. So there's programming happening June 8th, June 9th, June 16th, June 17th. So basically, you should visit their website. And they're outdoor events, and they're very art-centric. I love what you guys put out there.
Thank you so much.
And some of it is even done in front of the train station, right?
Right, that was where we were last Friday. We worked with Sobrasura Effect, which is a dance duo. They opened up for the Afro-Latin Jazz Orchestra led by Arturo Farrell. They played for one set, and then we had this big culminating kind of Act 3 with the Red Wing Blackbird Theater that told the history of Puerto Rico through puppets.
Yes.
So it was a great spectacle.
It was beautiful. And just in case anybody's wondering, I was referencing the Hunts Point train station because it's right there as you get out. And I really appreciate that you guys are curating anything related to Puerto Rico, because we need all eyes on Puerto Rico in every aspect. And the fact that you're able to teach or share with just the pedestrians going by through this artsy way, our history, it's really lovely. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, and the festival's been a big hit so far. We've had over 24,000 people that have attended the event just between last Thursday and Sunday. And also another event that's happening in our gallery is the Argenis Apolinario show. He documented 250 young people at Casita Maria over the last year. So it's just filled with happy, smiling faces, showing the
Yay.
greatness of
That-
all the
yeah,
young
we
people.
we can use that too, definitely. The world needs a lot of smiling faces. Thank you so much for coming here with us,
Oh,
Gail.
thank you.
All right, you guys. Oh,
Yes, and as a sign of gratitude, I would like to give you our Casita Maria gift bag.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Rhina.
All right, I'm going to go through the goodie bag while I guess I say to you guys, don't forget, the South Bronx Cultural Trail Festival is currently going on, and it's going to be happening until June 23rd. And of course, all are welcome to the festivities. So if you guys want to know what's on the agenda for each day, go to casitamaria.org, casitamaria.org, and oh yes, look at this. Look at what this
Bold,
says. This is
fierce,
Casita-
deliberate,
Bo-
empowered.
Say that again.
Bold, fierce, deliberate, empowered.
Thank you. I will wear this proudly.
Awesome.
Whew. All right, you guys, we got to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll sit with one of New York's well-known arts organizations. So you don't want to go anywhere. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. Don't forget to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at Bronxnet TV, and while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So the Harlem School of the Arts is one of New York's well-established arts organizations that has been contributing to the lives and development of many, many students for many, many years. And well, through its programs, the art school has managed to give students discipline, more creativity, self-confidence, and more, all under one roof. And joining us now to share more about the organization and the Harlem City Musical Hall Dance Spectacular, we welcome Harlem School of the Arts President Eric Pryor. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And I always greet everyone with acknowledging you, thanking you for your service, because the next generation is our world.
All right. Well, thank you for yours as well.
Thank you. Yeah, so, all right, today is a day of gratitude.
All right.
And let's talk about the Harlem School of Arts, because this school has been here for such a long time.
Well, we were founded in 1964 by a renowned opera singer, Dorothy Maynor. Ms. Maynor had a spectacular career. Was the first African-American woman to sing for a sitting president in 1949. She sang at Harry Truman's inaugural ball, and she was an amazing opera singer. Most of her career was in Europe because of disparities in terms of a woman of color being able to present in the large concert halls in the States. So she retired and founded Harlem School of the Arts.
And then after her finding this Harlem School of the Arts, somebody made a generous donation.
Yeah. I've often said if there was a Mount Rushmore of Harlem School of the Arts, it would be Dorothy Maynor, our first president, Betty Allen, and the third person would be Herb Alpert. Harlem School of the Arts went through a real troubled time where it closed for a brief moment. Herb read about it in his house in Malibu, California, and felt like he wouldn't have had the success in his life if it wasn't for him being introduced to a trumpet as a child, and called Mayor Bloomberg and sent $500,000 immediately and said it can't close. And since then, he's given close to $12 million. So it's
Close to $12 million.
Yeah.
That right there speaks volumes about just the importance of the arts and the impact that it has on people's lives, right? Which is
Without
how we
a doubt.
opened this segment.
Without a doubt.
And the fact that you're able to provide this all under one roof, let's talk about the programming, because it's really exciting what you guys do.
Well, we built our facility in the mid-1970s. We have a 40,000 square foot facility. We have all the disciplines. So we have 3 dance studios, 12 private lesson music studios, 5 ensemble rooms, media lab, recording studio, art gallery, outdoor courtyard, black box theater, and we do it all. And I think the most amazing thing about HSA is we're able to cross-train students. So if a student comes in that says, that's a pianist, we would encourage them to take vocal lessons, probably deal with some movement, because oftentimes, you may come in playing piano and then they find out you sing as well and what you want to learn to write music, but you might have to deal with choreography. So the idea is really to just cross-train and make certain that students are prepared. And you just never know where your career will land you. When we first looked at LL Cool J, we didn't think of him as an actor. But
Right.
that is who he is now.
Right.
You know, so really, if you really want a long career, particularly in the arts, the best thing you could do is train across the disciplines right off the bat.
You're right, and so it's as an artist, it's one influences
Right.
the other,
Right.
and really you never know where you're gonna land.
You never know. So, I mean, just being prepared. You know what they say, when preparation meets opportunity, that's typically when success occurs.
I like that. It's
Yes.
true. That's what they say.
Yeah.
And so, what are some of your success stories? Because you have a beautiful presentation coming up this weekend. I mean, she's one of your success stories.
Yeah, well, we do the Harlem City Music Hall Spectacular, which will be at the Hostels College at their Performing Arts Center right there on the Grand Concourse, and it's a wonderful. Our director of dance, Aubrey Lynch, was a principal dancer with Alvin Ailey. He was, in fact, the last dancer that Mr. Ailey selected to the main company before he passed away. Aubrey wrote and directed this piece, and basically it takes our recital. He will be two guest artists, Turk Lewis, who is a dancer with Complexions Contemporary Ballet, and another young woman from the D.C. area who's also going to be a ballerina in the show. And they'll work 300 kids around these spectacular dancers and tell this story of this young girl, Raven, who, you know, wants to dance and sneaks backstage and, you know, just sort of gets introduced to this mythical world of dance. So it's really quite dynamic.
I just went into the visuals of 300
Yes.
dancers.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Just to manage that is.
It's a lot. I sat in on a rehearsal yesterday, and I was like, I don't know how they remember it all. You know, and it was just amazing. It's amazing to see. I love watching the artistic process unfold, and with that many moving parts, it's a chore. I mean, it's a lot.
That is really impressive.
It is. But he's a force of nature. Aubrey is amazing. He's so creative. And I mean, in fact, one of his young proteges who was part of our program is one of the stars on the hit show on Netflix, Stranger Things. I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but the young African-American boy.
Who hasn't seen Stranger Things?
Caleb McLaughlin, who is plays on the show, the young African-American young man on the show, is one of HSA's own. We're very proud of him. In fact, he's one of our honorees at our Masquerade Ball Gala this year.
When's that?
That will be in October 22nd.
Okay, so we have time for that.
We got time for that. We can come back and talk about that.
Exactly. But this particular presentation that we're referencing, I'm assuming it's going to be on the main stage at Hostel?
Oh, it's at the main stage. Well, no doubt. With that many kids, you know, it's with the main stage. And it is June 10th from there's a 1 p.m. show and a 5 p.m. show. And so we're very, very, very excited about it.
So do you often put on presentations?
Oh yeah, we have shows constantly.
At this caliber though?
We just had
performers?
Well, we typically only that many with the dance recital.
Okay.
Now, I would say we just finished a musical that we did with Tamara Tooney, who is an actress who's noted for her role in Law and Order.
Yeah.
And Tamara wrote a play called Jazzland, and in that show we had about 50. So we had about 8 vocal leads, and both our young dance troupe and our teen dance troupe were all part of it, and it was amazing. And it was an original show that her and her partner Charlie Leapart had written with original music scored by Eric Reed, a noted jazz composer. So we do shows. I
know. I'm listening, and what I really love is that you're allowing these children to just be in the presence of people who have succeeded in the business.
Oh yeah.
So it's not just studying the arts for studying it. It's kind of like here are people who are making their living, and this is their occupation. This is what they do for a living.
Right. Well, we look at it in the pillars. There's the studio training that occurs, and then there is the performance training. Because I know when we first I went to their first rehearsal when we did Jazzland, and Tamara said, here's your highlighter, here's your pencil, and really just took them through what she deals with as a professional.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
and then there are talks. We've had Michael Bivins, we've had Mario Van Peebles, we had another of our alumni, Zazie Beetz, from the hit show Atlanta, and now she's on Deadpool 2 playing Domino. She's an HSA alum, so very proud of her as well.
Yes,
so, you know, that's it. I mean, our kids, they're not only training in the studio, but we really give this sort of 360-degree, view
back,
into
come
the
back.
arts.
Yes,
Yeah.
love it, love it, love
Right.
it. It's awesome. So before we go, we want to share the summer programs because you have summer programs.
We do have a
right now.
summer camp, Artscape, and our Artscape program, kids 4 up to around 12, and they have opportunity to taste all the arts disciplines. And for young dancers who are, they're in the dance, they know what they want, they're pretty much have identified themselves in that way. We have a dance intensive. We also have a theater intensive going on this summer, as well as we have private music lessons all summer as well. And all of those things pretty much start right after the July 4th holiday. So it's like the July 9th will be the startup for all of our summer activities.
So, but it's open for registration?
Oh, yeah, it's open
Okay.
for registration.
And so we're talking about 2-week programs, right? Is it 2 weeks of each, like you get to decide?
Well, the camp is like 2-week sessions. You don't do the whole long summer anymore because people travel, they vacation, and so they can sign up for with the camp all 6 weeks, or they can just do the first 2 weeks, or the second or the third.
So when they do the 2 weeks, so what I
Right.
guess I'm asking is like the intensive, is it just dance, like you go into the dance sector, or do you sign up for the theater sector?
The dance intensive is dance.
Dance, that's it.
The theater
Okay.
intensive is theater.
Got it.
The camp is more about, like I say, it's more about the exposure, enrichment. It's oftentimes kids who really haven't really tried the arts. It's a way for mom and dad to sort of immerse them in that environment and let them taste a little bit of visual arts, dance, theater, music, and they have an opportunity to see what they like to do.
Beautiful. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
And they're going to have an opportunity to see it come into fruition June 10th. That's right, because the Harlem City Musical Hall Dance Spectacular is going to be taking place on Sunday, June 10th at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. at Justos Center for the Arts and Culture, which is located at 450 Grand Concourse in the Bronx. And for tickets, you can go to hsanyc.org. And, well, stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
We begin our look at sports on the baseball diamond, where the Bronx Bombers and the amazing Mets are set to clash this weekend in the latest round of the Subway Series. The Pinstripers are 40-18, sitting atop the American League East. The Mets, meanwhile, are 7.5 games back in the National League East and have scored 7 runs in their past 6 games. All losses. On Wednesday, they even made the lowly Baltimore Orioles look good in a 1-0 defeat while the Yanks were wrapping up their stay in Canada. Aaron Judge hit a 2-run homer to snap a scoreless tie in the 13th inning. Giancarlo Stanton went deep moments later, and the Yankees beat the Toronto Blue Jays 3-0 for a 2-game sweep. Regardless, the Subway Series seems to always bring out the best in both teams, especially the Mets, who likely will treat this series like it's their World Series. Their offense could use a boost, to say the least, and that could come courtesy of Yoenis Cespedes. He's trying to make his way back from injury just in time for the Subway Series. Tonight's pitching probables have Masahiro Tanaka towing the rubber against Jacob deGrom. The weekend will also feature Yankee ace Luis Severino and Mets ace Noah Syndergaard on Sunday Night Baseball. The Bombers sure would love to snatch up one of those two Met hurlers in a trade. The Yanks' only glaring weakness might be depth and another ace in their rotation. The worst news for young Yankee pitcher Jordan Montgomery: Tommy John surgery. The Yankees announced that Montgomery underwent the scheduled surgery on his left elbow Thursday, fixing a UCL tear that had been found in Montgomery's recent MRI. A loose bone chip also was removed from Montgomery's elbow, according to the team. Both the Mets and Yanks got a chance this week to plan for the future. Monday night was the MLB draft. We got a chance to catch up with some of the legends in the room representing the clubs at MLB Network Studio 42, as well as interview the Yanks' ambidextrous first-round pick. Here's more. College Baseball Hall of Famer, Red Sox Hall of Famer, and again, meant a lot to this organization. For a young player, what does a night like this signify?
Hopefully it's the start of a long career. You know, and a lot of guys get drafted. Not everybody makes it to the big leagues. So everybody's dream is to get to the highest level, of course, and then to hopefully have a very successful and long career. And that's what we're hoping for these kids today. You know, we see these names today. These guys might be, you know, the next stars of the future. So it's kind of exciting for everybody.
Is there something for you with the eye that you look for when it comes to a player?
No question. You know, there's a lot of good things about sabermetrics, and there's also things that I just disregard. But there's two things that you can't measure: what's up here and what's here. And I think the eye test tells you a lot about that. By talking to the individual, watching him go through his pregame preparations, watching him play when he's 0 for 8, see how he gets along with his teammates. All those things that you don't measure with sabermetrics, and the eye test comes into play a lot.
Now, one of the questions I've been asking a lot of the legends is just, does a night like this bring you back to when you were coming up in your amateur career and getting a chance to play in the majors?
Well, you know, when I came up, they didn't have a draft. I signed in 1964 before they had it, so going through a draft is something that I never went through. But I'm sure these kids that are here tonight are certainly excited about it, and I'm looking forward to it.
But how important do you think, as someone that's been both a player and a coach in the major leagues, for the teams to try and get it right, knowing what kind of crapshoot it really is, the MLB draft?
Well, you said it right. It is a crapshoot. It really is. You know, I think that most teams, you know, you draft by needs, or you go for the best athlete that's out there if you don't have any particular need. You know, but I know, you know, our minor league system has been struggling a little bit, so we basically need everybody. So we have a lot of big pool to choose from. So hopefully we can get it right this time, and I feel confident that we picking 6, so we should be okay.
So Nick, are the Yankees going to find another Gleyber Torres in this year's draft?
That's the plan, bro. Another Gleyber Torres, another Aaron Judge, bro.
Sounds pretty good.
That's what we're looking for. Judging baseball talent is the hardest thing because it's a 162-game season. I feel like if you look at football players or basketball players, you can physically look at somebody and they already have an advantage. In baseball, it's hard, man, because you don't necessarily look at the outside of the body. You really have to look on the inside as well, see what kind of makeup they have. But I think for us, our philosophy is pretty simple. Take the best available player at that point in the draft, and then we go on from there. We have such amazing coaches in the minor leagues, throughout the organization, everywhere from rookie ball all the way up to the big leagues. We have the mentors we need, man. We just need to get the right people in place to make it happen. We need to get those players going.
Did you know that the Philadelphia Phillies were interested?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to them a couple times and met them down at when our conference tournament was in Clearwater, so I met them there. And, you know, but really, you know, you never know until you hear your name called, so that's when I really knew.
It's everybody's dream to be a first-round pick, so, I mean, I still had that in my mind. I want to be a first-round draft pick, so, I mean, that kind of helped me and motivated me. I mean, it's a huge honor. Like I said up there, I'm really blessed to be here, and I'm really thankful to be able to put on this jersey and carry on a legacy that they've brought.
For more coverage of the MLB draft, log on to MLB.com. The Stanley Cup Finals in the books, and instead of a script centered around the Cinderella Vegas Golden Knights, it's Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals that get the movie-like ending. Ovechkin is no longer Dan Marino or Ted Williams, the star player whose statistical achievements will never again be counterbalanced by a lack of a championship. Ovi is your Conn Smythe Trophy winner as playoff MVP. The Caps, who lost Game 1 in the series, rallied to win 4 straight, taking Game 5 4-3 Thursday night to win their first ever Stanley Cup. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Brian Colangelo is out as the GM of the Philadelphia 76ers, after his wife admitted to operating Twitter accounts that criticized the team and revealed sensitive information. The GM resigned this week amid the scandal. Terrell Owens, who was selected for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year, has declined an invitation to attend the induction ceremony. He said Thursday, "That is unprecedented." Owens said, open quote, "After visiting Canton earlier this year, I came to the realization that I wish to celebrate what will be one of the most memorable days of my life elsewhere," close quote. Do you expect anything less from T.O. In tennis, the French Open rolls on. The men's semifinals is wrapping up today with number 1 Rafael Nadal taking on number 5 Juan Martín del Potro. That rivalry matchup should be a goodie. American Sloane Stephens has already advanced on the women's side and headlines the championship as she will square off against number 1 Simona Halep. On the WNBA hardwood, the New York Liberty ran into Shakina Strickland Thursday night at the Westchester County Center. Strickland had a 4-point play at the buzzer to give the Connecticut Sun an 88-86 victory over the Liberty. The Liberty are back in action Sunday to take on the Indiana Fever at home. In IndyCar, Scott Dixon won the first race in Detroit last weekend, while Ryan Hunter-Reay won the second. This weekend, the series will be in Texas. Last week on the show, we told you to take a look out for the Indy 500 Sports NYC special. This week, we'll give you a special sneak peek with our Indy 500 recap. Take a look.
I've won so many races and poles and, you know, led more laps than anyone. I just hadn't done it here. So I've been thinking, like, am I going to finish my career without a 500 win? And this month is one of the best months I've had. Very, very, like, relaxed and, you know, in tune with my engineer, just working really well.
The one thing he always talked about was, I've got to win the Indy 500. I've got to win the Indy 500 to get where you need to be. Will was agonizing during dinner, you know, as far as what his setup, what his gears were going to be and that type of thing. His mind never leaves this sport. So he's fully committed. You know, he's made a lot of sacrifices, and to see the culmination, and I think you saw how excited he was today. You don't see that out of Will too often.
He won this race today because he was the best. There's no question about the speeds at the end, his outlaps, the pit crew. I take my hat off to John Bousselong and certainly to Tim Cindric, because we had 4 great cars, and that's what you got to have here. You got to have 4 bullets, 3 bullets, whatever it takes, and I'm just so thrilled. 17 wins. I guess now I got to worry about 18.
He was good all day, and when he got clear, he could run fast laps, which was big for us. You know, the thing was is he was so focused on the win and doing well that it was his day, you know, and he was going to make sure it was.
You have to have that in you, and that's just the human spirit. So you got to have that determination. That's what I had, and when you work hard at something, it comes for you. It eventually comes for you.
Still buzzing from the trip to Indy. Formula One will be in Canada this weekend. NASCAR is in Michigan on Sunday. UFC 225 goes down Saturday night in Chicago. Robert Whitaker and Yoel Romero headline the main event. Also excited to see Holly Holm and Megan Anderson, who are also on the main card as they face each other in the women's featherweight matchup. Game 4 of the NBA Finals, is tonight. The Golden State Warriors hold a 3-0 series lead and look well on their way to a final sweep of LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Durant had a huge game in Game 3 for the Dubs. The All-Star forward told ESPN on Thursday that he will re-sign with Golden State this summer. Durant is finishing the first year of a discounted 2-year, $51 million deal with the Warriors that included an opt-out clause for the 18-19 season. President Donald Trump told reporters this morning that we're not going to invite either team, referring to Golden State and Cleveland, for a visit to the White House. On Tuesday, LeBron James said neither his Cavaliers nor the Warriors would accept a visit as a winner of the NBA Finals. The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles already had their visit to the White House canceled by Trump after many players declined to attend. And on a final sports roundup note, Justify will look to complete the Triple Crown Saturday at the Belmont Stakes in the 150th running. Justify is the favorite, of course. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list, where I will explain to you how the Golden State Warriors are turning LeBron James into the Wilt Chamberlain of his era, and how LBJ is no MJ when it comes to the GOAT debate. The Finals MVP award is named after Bill Russell. He led the Boston Celtics to 11 titles in 13 seasons. Oftentimes, Russell is in the conversation for the greatest player of all time debate, although his numbers pale in comparison to Wilt the Still Chamberlain, a player who dominated so much that he once scored 100 points in a game. over the New York Knicks, no less. Still a record. I digress. Clearly, championships speak volumes about players. From 1959 to 69, Russell and Chamberlain played against each other in 94 regular season games. Neither was a particularly great free throw shooter. Chamberlain had the edge in rebounding over Russell, who is widely considered the greatest defensive big man to ever live. And Chamberlain more than doubled Russell in points per game, 29.9 to 14.2. Chamberlain's teams, however, they only won 37 of the 94 matchups, with the win-loss ratio slightly tighter in the playoffs. Chamberlain again held the advantage in points, rebounds, and field goal percentage, but it was again Russell who walked away victorious in 29 of those 49 postseason matchups. A final tally, Russell's Celtics defeated Chamberlain's Warriors, 76ers, and Lakers in 86 of 143 matchups at 60%. Chamberlain and Russell played each other in 8 different playoff series. Russell won 7 of those 8 series. With that said, Chamberlain, for all of his statistical genius, is never held in as high a regard as Russell, and he was the physical dominant marvel that LeBron today is back then. LeBron is going to lose another NBA final. They're not going to win 4 straight, sorry to break the news. And the Warriors have essentially turned LeBron into Wilt in the NBA Finals. People will always use Michael Jordan's 6-0 mark in the NBA Finals as the primary basis for his place as the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And I strongly believe it's a big part of the debate. But when you look at the numbers, 10-time scoring champ, former NBA Defensive Player of the Year, and a guy that was an all-NBA first-team defender for the entire decade of the 90s, coupled with leading the league 3 times in steals during that stretch. You have a player that not only was the best offensive player of his stay in the association, but the best defender, too, and he went 6-0 in the finals. Listen, there are several GOATs in NBA history. Jordan, James, Russell, and Wilt are among those names. But from a modern-day perspective, I'm taking Jordan before I'm taking LeBron, just the same way I likely would have taken Russell over Wilt back in the day. LeBron has 3 championships, but don't expect him to catch Jordan or Russell in the rings department, and don't expect him to catch either of them in the great GOAT debate either. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
We are together. And for the last 20 years, we have been building on a vision to share our views, our voices on our channels. We are the Bronx. We are Bronxnet.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. Our next guest is no stranger to our Open Artist Spotlight stage. He's a Juilliard alum, and he's ready to take the world by storm with his music. Joining us to perform, Maria. Please welcome Beat Boi, accompanied by Jonathan Roman.
BX, what up?
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Bronxnet, Rhina, thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yeah. So for those that don't know what happened in Puerto Rico this past year after Hurricane Maria, this song was written to just bring some light to y'all. There's my brother Jonathan Roman, and he's the one taking care of the hook for me. Listen.
Oh, Maria, Maria.
Yeah.
Destroyed my island right before me. And now Trump is adding problems.
Yeah.
Can't even describe how her beauty's gone. Oh, Maria, Maria.
Woo.
Booty was stronger than you think.
Yeah.
Surrounded with nothing but love, yeah.
It's all love.
Viva mi isla bonita.
Facts. So before we get into the story, I just want to tell y'all a little bit about myself. For those that don't know, listen. I'm from the hood, so I'm expected to fail. Puerto Rican, so to the cops, I'm expected to jail. Was never rich growing up, so not expected to bail. Pops made it tight far, but guess who's next in the trail? Me. Us failing is an oxymoron. Rhyme stick kinda like epoxy moron. Confidence is high, guess I'm a cocky moron. Raining on their parades, watch me pour on. Understand that for us it was hard to get away to a life so far. Tough battles and struggles, done left they scars. On an island where me Indios left they hearts. Yeah, we came in the 40s thinking they gon' reject us. But the hardships only help perfect us. Closing the doors in our face don't affect us. Boricuas is here to stay, so accept us. Yeah, yeah.
Destroyed my island right before me.
What you done, girl?
And now Trump is adding problems.
He don't make it no better.
Can't even describe how her beauty's gone. Oh, Maria, Maria.
We gon' rise though.
Boricuas are stronger than you think.
You know it.
Surrounded with nothing but love, yeah, yeah.
It's all love, baby.
Pa mi isla bonita.
Woo! Thank you very much, Jonathan Roman. This joint, I'ma get a little political, so I hope y'all ready. Red, white, and blue with the star in the middle. A little island to the world, but in my heart, you're the biggest. No matter how they try to strip us, our culture remains strong. Cause there's a lot of things in history we have our names on. From music to boxing, fashion to politics. It's sad how they treat us. The harder pill to swallow is how in disaster they forgot our island. Causing separation and inciting violence. But they've been hopping on planes and racking up mileage. Before Maria came and changed how we see our horizon. And if you let them tell it, you'll think I was lying. Since our island ain't for sale, they trying to steal our environment. I represent Aguadilla and Mayagüez. Got love for Mark Anthony and what he did with Lin Manuel. Carolina, yo, that's where my abuelita rests her head. I thank God my mom reached her. We prayed that she wasn't dead. At the end of the day, I got nothing to prove. When it's all said and done, we celebrate like Victor Cruz. I'm not just Puerto Rican for the parade. I'm blessed to say that I'm Puerto Rican every day. Come on. Yeah, yeah.
Destroyed my island right before me.
Look what you done, girl.
Now Trump is adding problems.
Yup.
Can't even describe how her beauty's gone. Oh, Maria, Maria.
We gon' rise.
Boricuas are stronger than you think.
You know it.
Surrounded with nothing but love, yeah, yeah. Pa mi isla bonita.
Sing to him, J. Rome.
Oh, se levanta, Puerto Rico se levanta, ella se levanta, hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Bronxnet familia.
Puerto Rico se levanta.
Puerto Rico se levanta.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you. Make sure you
thank
check
you,
us out on
Beat
beatboy.com.
Beat Boy. Jonathan, oh my gosh, thank you. Powerful, powerful stuff. Thank you. Once again, let's share with everyone. You're going to be performing at the 116th Street
Yes,
Festival.
we'll be at the festival tomorrow on the La Mega stage. That's on 112th Street and 3rd Avenue. Me and my brother Jonathan are going to hit the stage with that song, plus a little bit more. You could also follow me on Instagram, all that stuff. Find my information at beatboi.com, beatboi.com. Check me out. Thank you.
All right, you guys, we appreciate you closing us out with such a powerful statement. Puerto Rico needs light. Puerto Rico se levanta. And, you know, our prayers are with those who are the lives that have been lost. Thank you, guys. All right, once again, you guys, for more information on Beat Boi, visit beatboi.com. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight, 24 hours a day at bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin. And from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Mwah. All right.